Savitri Prabhu. Yes. Yes. Savitri Prabhu.
He doesn't hear
Yeah, but we need a warm water.
Halfway point.
like sugar bottle.
Okay, that's good.
Thank you. Then all this जब मैं बहुत मोटी थी तो मैं ज्यादा
No, just mic set, Prabhu. Just make sure now that you're going to start the fusion. Yes. So mic is I just check that.
Yeah, it's working.
So one thing. This is now, so you can use it in your daily, worship. Like you can dry it or whatever. Yeah. Whatever when it's filled, you can use it. Sorry. So normally writing down Panjabi here. Then comes Panchamrita. I'll get Panchamrita. Yeah. So.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Hare. Welcome everyone to the Sri Rama Navami celebrations, where the kind Lord appeared as a son of Dashratha and Mother Kaushalya.
Can you hold it for 5 minutes? I'll set up the double.
Jaya Jaya Samagana Vilola Sadhigana Paripala Kamitatha Pradata Niti Sanjata Samagana Vilola Sadhigana Paripala Kamitatha Pradata Niti Sanjata Soma Surya Prakasha Sakala Lokadisha सकल लोकाधीश श्री महारघुवीर सिंधु गंभीर श्री महारघुवीर सिंधु गंभीर जय 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 सकल शास्त्र विचार शरण जन मंदार सकल शास्त्र विचार शरण जन मंदार विकसितांबुज वदन विश्वमय सदन सकल शास्त्र विचार शरण जन मंदार विकसितांबुज वदन विश्वमय सदन सुकृत मोक्षाधीश साकेत पुरवास सुकृत मोक्षाधीश साकेत पुरवास भकुत वत्सल राम पुरंदर विठल भकुत वत्सल राम पुरंदर विठल जय 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 जानकी कांत जय साधु जन विमुक्त जय तुमहि मानंत जय भाग्यवंत जय 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 So now we are going to start off with the lessons. So before that I need to wear my glasses. Okay, so today is Sri Rama Navami. So what is the meaning of Rama? That is what I want to start with. Okay. He is the reservoir of all happiness. That is the meaning of Rama. The one who is a repository or the reservoir of all happiness, of all pleasure, that is Rama. So we see that the Lord's appearance comes in Balakand. I've already given that overview last week. So Balakand is the chapter of youth. And in that chapter, in that canto, from chapters 8 to 18, describe Dashratha's journey in getting Rama as his son. Who remembers how old Dashratha was when Rama was born? How many? No. No, he was 60,000 years old. Actually, both Jatayu and Dashratha were 60,000 years old when they died. So 60,000 years old, and for 60,000 years in Treta Yuga, the time works a little different. It's not the same as how we perceive age in this era, and you cannot use your legs in front of you. So Dashratha was 60,000 years old. And it is mentioned in later chapters that he conducts a lot of austerities to get a son. He conducts plenty of austerities. And then one fine day, he decides that despite all the opulence that he has, despite everything that he has, the love and adoration from his various subjects, it is not enough. Why? Because material wealth cannot substitute for the spiritual wealth. If you don't have Rama in your life, it doesn't matter how opulent you are, it doesn't matter whether you're the emperor of this entire world, you are still going to be unhappy. That is the whole meaning behind this. And one fine day, he decides to conduct Ashwamedha Yajna because he perceives that he might have conducted some sin in the past.
because of which he is not able to have children. And so he talks to his Vashishta Guru and he says, Tadartham hayamedena yakshyami iti matir mama. It is my wish to conduct Ashwamedha Yajna. And all the sages say, okay, fine, it is a good prospect and you should definitely do it. Then Dashratha's confidant, who is Sumantra, who is also his charioteer, minister and everything, and you can see in the later chapters of Valmiki Ramayana that Sumantra was more than just a minister, he was a very close confidant. And he tells Dashratha that only sage Rishi Shringa is supposed to conduct this particular yajna, because this was foretold by sage Sanat Kumara, one of the sons of Lord Brahma. And Sanat Kumara had foretold that Rishi Shringa will come to the Ayodhya and conduct the Ashwamedha Yajna for Dashratha, which will enable him to get 4 sons. And Rishi Shringa was the son-in-law of Dashratha's very close friend, King Romapada. So Dashratha, with his vast retinue, travels to the kingdom of Anga and he requests his friend to give him Rishi Shringa and his wife Shanta. So they arrive with great pomp and ceremony to Ayodhya, and after some time, when the spring commences, Vashishta makes sure that there is this huge palatial pandal that is set up on the northern shores of river Sarayu. It's very clearly mentioned. And the altar is also very specific. Instead of the usual 6 pits, there were 18 pits, and they were in the shape of Garuda. There were 21 different posts, wooden posts, that were decorated with multiple kinds of sandalwood paste and flowers and very brightly colored cloth, and there were 21 cubits high, and they were, all these measurements are given in Valmiki Ramayana. That's the reason why I'm going through this. The sacrificial horse was set out, and it took about a year for the horse to return. And then afterwards, Mother Kaushalya goes through some very purificatory rites with the horse, and everything happened according to the Atharva Veda Shastra. So Ashwamedha Yajna is mentioned in Atharva Veda, and everything took place exactly the way Atharva Veda has specified it has to take place. Because previously itself it is mentioned that if something goes wrong with the Ashwamedha Yajna, then there are people known as Brahma Rakshas who are Brahmanas. Because they did something wrong, they become Rakshasas in the next Janma, but they still have the knowledge of the Vedas from the previous Janma. So if something goes amiss, they can come over and they can come over and they can steal all they can steal the pious credits of everyone who is conducting that yajna. So it is a very difficult task to perform Ashwamedha Yajna. And everything was according to plan, and then there are multiple types of priests. You have the Hota priest, the Advairyu priest, and different Udgatu priest and Dharma priest. So these are the 4 different types of priests. And and Dashratha gives them the northern, eastern, western, and the southern corners of the world, because he was so rich that he could donate the entire world to these Brahmanas. But then the Brahmanas say that no, we are not capable of protecting this kingdom, so they give it back. And then to each and every Brahmana, Dashratha gives 100,000 cows, 100 million gold coins, and 400 million silver coins to each Brahmana. So imagine how wealthy he is to each Brahmana. And imagine that despite having this much wealth, he was not happy because Rama was not there in his life. But now he is very happy. And at this particular stage, once the Ashwamedha Yajna is over, he says that we should conduct the Putreshti Yajna. Putra, what is the meaning of Putra? Very good. So the Put means hell, Trayati means the deliverance, and the one who delivers the forefathers from hell is from the hell called Put is known as Putra. And the Puttaresh, the Ishti means you want something. But we shouldn't consider this to be a Karma Kanda section because he is wanting the Lord to appear. And so this is actually a very good thing. So Dasharatha commences the Puttarishti Yajna 1 year after the Ashwamedha Yajna starts. And at this time, all the devatas talk to Brahma. Oh Brahma, this Ravana is this huge tyrant. I have no idea what we are supposed to do. He cannot really do. None of us are capable of combating with him. What should we do? And it's all because of your boons. You were the one who gave him the boons. It's all because of your boons. So you give us the solution. Please. Then Brahma says that Ravana, yes, he has immunity from death from members of all species except for Nara, except for human beings, and Vanaras are kind of like human beings because they are also bipeds. They can also walk on 2 feet. And so he says that humans and human-like creatures, he considers them to be very low. So he is not really interested in seeking immunity from them. So he left out these two. He left out Nara from that boon, and only a human being will be able to kill Ravana. So at that time, Lord Vishnu, and from Srimad Bhagavatam we can know that this is actually the Chiradakshara Vishnu, the third Purusha Avatara. Lord Vishnu appears over there on Garuda. And what is beautiful mantra? Etasmin Anantare Vishnu. In the meanwhile, Lord Vishnu, Upayata Mahaduti. He appeared who is so radiant. Shankha Chakra Gada Pani. So he's endowed with Shankha Chakra and Gada. Pitavasa Mahapati. So he's wearing his yellow robes. Pita Kalshayavasa. He's wearing yellow robes. And then it said, Bhaskaram Vainateya Samaruhyo. Seated atop Garuda. Vainateya is another name for Garuda. Vainateyas literally mean the sons of Lady Vinata. And I will explain this in greater detail when we talk about Hanuman. And Vainateya Samaruhyo, that means seated atop Garuda, Bhaskaram Toyadam Yata. So he appeared like the rising sun. So beautiful was he. Tapta Hataka Keyuro. In his hands, he wore Keyuras and Angaras are 2 hand ornaments. And Tapta means burnt. So the ornaments that he wore on his hands, Angadas are worn over here and Keyuras are worn over here. So he wore Keyuras, that color of burnt gold. And Vandemana Surotamahi, the best of the devatas, Sura Uttama. They were all praying to him. So immediately in this one verse, Valmiki distinguishes Lord Vishnu from all the other devatas. Because the Lord appeared and everybody else, even the best of all the devatas, is paying obeisances to this particular person. So it's very interesting, and he's so beautiful. And what is the first thing that he says? Bhayam tyajadam esha bhadram te. You have to discard all your fear. And bhadram te. Bhadram te means goodness be to you. And if you see Valmiki Ramayana's the way they speak, their linguistic, if you do some linguistic diagnosis, you can see that they keep on saying Bhadram te, Bhadram te, Bhadram te, Bhadram te. May good be with you, may good be with you. Say, let safety betide you. They always say that. It's a very polite way of speaking. So they always say Bhadram te, Bhadram te. And we can see that Lord Vishnu also says the same thing. And at that time, all the devatas, they say, oh, we need a deliverance from the tyranny of Ravana. So, look at the humility of Mahavishnu. He said, of Chiradakshara Vishnu. He says, what form would you like me to take so that I can kill Ravana? What form would you like me to take? So he is giving them the option to choose what form he should appear in. So immediately you get to see that the Lord is exceptionally kind. And then they say, oh Lord, can you please incarnate as a human being and kill Ravana in battle? we all know that the Lord is also Paramatma, so he could have just turned off Ravana's life in that body at any time. But no, the Devatas requested that the Lord incarnate as a human being and wage a war against Ravana and kill him in battle. That is a reason why a battle had to be fought, and not that. And the Lord did not just turn off that energy whenever He felt like. And the Lord acquiesces, and He says, "I am going to be born as the 4 sons of King Dashratha." Because Dashratha, by conducting the Ashwamedha Yajna, had already purified himself of his major sin. Who can tell me the major sin conducted by Dashratha in his youth? Yes, perfect. So inadvertently, when he was very young, he uses a Shabdavedi barn, that is a sonar equipment, and he kills, thinking that it is a buffalo or water buffalo or an elephant. He throws that arrow, shoots the arrow, but it turns out that he was the son of a Shudra woman and a Vaishya sage. And that was... the father's name is Shravan because he would always listen to scriptures as spoken by his son. That's the reason why the son's name is Shravan Kumar. And the father curses him that Dashratha too is going to die of a broken heart from being separated from his son. So it's very interesting to know that despite knowing that this is how he is going to die, it doesn't deter Dashratha from wanting Rama as a son. So he is willing to choose death instead of a life without Rama. You see, it's very important. And that's why you have to read Valmiki Ramayana in its entirety so that we can understand a lot of retroactive information as provided by sage Valmiki Muni. A lot of it, retroactive information is provided. And this is one such thing. So Dashratha preferred death to a life without Lord Rama. Very important point. And at that time, since the Lord decided to be reincarnated, to be born as the sons of King Dashratha, that time Brahma, the Lord says this, promises this, and then he goes back. And then Brahma turns to all the Devatas and says, "Oh, my dear Devatas, all of you should now incarnate as Vanaras and Rikshas." Riksha means bears. Vanaras, because bears are also bipeds. So you should all incarnate as Vanaras and Rikshas, marry Gandharvas and Apsaras and Kinnara and Nagakanyas, and then produce more and more children. And all of you should serve Lord Rama in battle. So how many Vanaras served Lord Rama in battle? I mentioned this last week. More than 10 to the power of 74. Perfect. So, and how many Devatas are there? 33 crores. So you can imagine that they were very enthusiastic in spreading of their genes and having lots of Vanaras to serve the Lord. So Brahma says, "In the days of yore, when I yawned, I produced Jambavan." So now go ahead and each and every one of you produce your own children. So Surya's son is Sugriva, Indra's son is Vali. Then you have Nala is the son of Vishwakarma, Neela is the son of Agni. Shwet and Jyotirmukha are also sons of sons of Surya. And like this you have so many different Devatas who have multiple children. And then finally, lo and behold, Valmiki talks about who? Hanuman. He says, "Maratasya aurasya Shriman Hanuman nama vanaraha vajra samhananopaito vainateya samajave sarva vanara mukhesha buddhiman balavan api." Maratasya aurasya, the Auras Putra or Marut own son. Marut is one of the sons of Diti, whose name is Vayu also, and Vayu's son is Hanuman. That's the reason why Hanuman gets the name of Maruti, the son of Marut. So Marutasya Aurasya, the own son of the Maruts, Shriman, very auspicious, Hanuman nama vanaraha. the name of this very auspicious monkey is Hanuman. Vajra Samhana Nopeto. His body is as strong as thunderbolt. Vajra also means diamond. So he's radiant. He's scintillating as a diamond, but he's like that hard as well. So you cannot really do anything to break him. Vainateya Sama Jave. Jave means movement. So Vainateya, as I mentioned before, are the sons of Vinata. One major son of Vinata is Garud. Another son is Arun. Arun became Arun is Garud's older brother, and Arun became the charioteer of Vivaswan. Arun has three sons, Sheni, Sampati and Jatayu. So technically Jatayu is the nephew of Garud. And it's very interesting to note that Sampati's son, Sampati, Jatayu, Garuda, all of them serve Lord Rama. So by comparing Hanuman to Vainateya, Valmiki is making us understand that the alacrity with which the Vainateyas want to serve the Lord is found in Hanuman as well. And it's also very interesting to note that many times Hanuman takes Rama on his shoulders and he parades about, especially during battle and crossing the ocean, and all. Hanuman does this. And even in Tirupati we see the Brahmotsavam, Hanuman is one of the vehicles as well. And Vainateya Samajave, Sarva Vanara Mukheshu, the most prominent of all the Vanaras is Hanuman. Buddhiman Balavan Api, he is exceptionally intelligent and is exceptionally strong. So he knows how to use his brains and his bronze in the service of Lord Rama. So after this one, it is mentioned that a Vishnuduta appears in the yajna of Dashratha, and he brings a very beautiful pot. The Valmiki specifies that the pot is golden, the lid is silver. This level of detail is given in Valmiki Ramayana. And the Vishnuduta was so beautiful. He had hair like the mane of a lion, and he had beautiful glowing beard, and he was radiant like the Agni. And he in a thunderous voice, he had Dundabi Svana, in a thunderous voice, he gives that pot to, is mentioned that he holds it with as much affection as a husband would hold his wife. It's mentioned. And he gives that pot to King Dashratha and he says, distribute it amongst your eligible wives. How many wives does Dashratha have? How many? 3.
300. 300.
No. 351 wives. This is mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana's Ayodhya Kand, ere Rama's departure to the forest. So all the 350 stepmothers arrive and they are all sobbing and oh Rama, Rama, please don't go, please don't go. They are all very sad. Open the door. It's kind of difficult with this. You have to go.
Chitra, come other way. Come other way. Sorry.
Okay, so the eligible wives are Kaushalya, Sumitra and Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi is the youngest one, Sumitra is the second, and Kaushalya is the oldest. And it is mentioned that once, how was the distribution of the keep? Kaushalya gets half. Then Sumitra gets half of the remaining, that means 1/4. Then Kaikeyi gets half of the remaining, that is 1/8. And then Sumitra gets 1/8. 1/8 of the total. It is a very common misconception that he just gave half to Kaushalya and half to Kaikeyi and both of them fed Sumitra. No, that is not how Valmiki says it. It's a very common misconception. This is exactly half of the remaining, then half of the remaining, and then the remaining. That's how Valmiki has segregated it. And after 12 months, Dwadashe Mase, that's what Chaitra Mase, on Chaitra Masa, which is right now, and where it's Navami Tithau. That means that the day after the new moon day was the 9th day. So that means it's Navami Tithi. And Aditi is the presiding star. When Aditi is the presiding star, it is Punarvasu Nakshatra. At that time, at that very beautiful auspicious time, Lord Rama made his appearance. How was he to look at when he was born? That is also mentioned. Mahabhagam, the highly fortunate one. Sarvaloka Namaskritam, the whole world is bowing down to him. Lohitaksham, his eyes are coppery red. It's just the corner of his eyes are very coppery red. Ravana has bloodshot eyes, fire like ice. That's the description given by Valmiki. But Rama is Lohitaksham. And Dundabi Swanam, that means that he has a deep voice, he's like a baritone. And then it's Rakta Oshtam. His lips are as red as blood. Okay, so Rakta Oshtam, Dundabi Swanam. And he is exceptionally beautiful to look at. In the 35th chapter of Sundarakand, Hanuman tells Mother Sita that, oh my dear mother, Kamala Patrakshi, Rama was very capable, very graceful since his birth, and he attracted everyone since his birth. This is what is mentioned. Then, Purnamasi Nakshatra, Chaitra Masa is Lord Rama's birthday. The next nakshatra is Pushya Nakshatra, that is Bharata's birthday. The next nakshatra is Ashlesha Nakshatra, that is Lakshmana and Shatrugna's birthday. So these four brothers were born separately and one nakshatra after the other. And then 11 days after their birth, Vashishta names them. What is the shloka? Jeshtam Rama Mahatmanam Bharatam Kaikeyi Sutam Saumitram Lakshmanamiti Shatrugnam Aparam Tada. Jeshtam Rama Mahatmanam, the oldest and the great souled one, is Rama. Bharatam Kaikeyi Sutam, the son of Kaikeyi is Bharata. Saumitrim, that means the sons of Sumitra are Lakshmana and the other one is Shatrugna. And then afterwards, we don't get to see the childhood pastimes or the Gurukul pastimes or anything in Valmiki Ramayana. The birth of Lord Rama is mentioned in the 18th chapter. And then we get to see that the childhood pastime, the only thing that was mentioned is that Rama and Lakshmana are always one pair, Bharata and Shatrugna are another pair, and Dasharatha was very happy with all the four, but he paid wonderful attention to Rama because Rama was so attractive and he was so sweet and he was so wonderful. And at the end of the 18th chapter, we are going to see the arrival of Vishwamitra to take Rama and Lakshmana to kill Subahu, Maricha, Tataka and the others. So how old was Rama when he killed Tataka? 13 years. Very good. So he was 13 years old at that time, but then that is another topic altogether and out of scope for this meeting. So this is this is the description of the birth. This is a description of the birth of the Lord as mentioned in Valmiki Ramayana. Now we are going to go into our next topic called Paduka Pattabhishek. Paduka Pattabhishek. What is the significance of the Padukas of Lord Rama? So the Paduka Pattabhishek comes in the 115th chapter of ISKCON. This is also mentioned. Who conducts the Paduka Pattabhishek? Very good. And why does he conduct? This is the most important thing. To understand that, let us jump to the 7th chapter of ISKCON. This is where, in the 7th chapter of ISKCON, we get to see Manthara turning the... Manthara changes the mind of Kaikeyi. Kaikeyi was very happy that Rama is going to be crowned the king, and then she changes because of greed. What is the meaning of Ayodhya? The one that cannot be defeated. What is very difficult? What is very difficult to overcome? Greed is very difficult to overcome. And therefore in ISKCON, we get to see two people. One person succumbs to greed and the other person overcomes greed. Okay? So we get to see the very bad effects of greed and we get to see the wonderful effects of not having greed. This is what is mentioned in ISKCON. And we know that due to mantra, Kaikeyi demands the two boons of Dashratha, and Dashratha, without even asking Rama to go off into the forest, Rama goes because he wants to protect the word of his father, and he promises his father beforehand that he's going to go to the forest as well. So it's not just that Rama wants to protect his father's words, he wants to protect his own words because he had already promised to go into the forest. Mataji, it's always better that you don't face your back to the Lord. So just at a little angle. Okay. Directly we shouldn't turn our backside to the Lord. Okay. So Dashratha passes away how many days after the departure of Lord Rama to the forest? 6 days. 6 days. So on the 5th day, Sumantra returns. Sumantra was the one who dropped Rama, Sita and Lakshmana on the banks of River Ganga, and then he returns. And the day he returned, Dashratha he had a very terrible grief outbreak, and he passed away the 6th midnight. So just 6 days. So after Dashratha had passed away, Rama and Lakshmana were in the forest. Bharata and Shatrugna, where were they? Where? They were with Kaikeyi's father, Ashwapati, and their uncle. You know Kaikeyi's brother's name? Yudhajit. They were with Yudhajit had come for Sita Rama Kalyan, and then while going back, he takes Bharata and Shatrugna with them. There's a reason why Bharata was completely innocent. He had no clue that his mother was hatching such a nefarious plot. He had no idea at all. And then all the sages, Maudgalya, Gautama, Markandeya, and everyone, I know the time.
No, it's not the time. They need to just move a bit forward. A few more minutes.
Okay.
Just
So everyone,
close
please
as
come
possible.
as close to me as possible. Yeah. And everyone says, what are we supposed to do? What are we supposed to do? You know, a kingdom without a king is not good.
Just actually, really simple and fun.
A kingdom without a king is not good. Then Vashishta sends messengers to Kaikeyi's kingdom, Kaikeyi's father's land. And at that time, this is the first time we are introduced to Bharata's thought process. Because till then, we just know that Bharata was married to Mandavi, Sita's cousin. And he and Shatrugna were a very close pair, and now they are in Kaikeyi's father's land. And apart from these three things, we really don't know anything else about Bharata. So the very first introduction to Bharata is when he says that in his dream he is able to see the destruction of something over there. Something is not right in Ayodhya. It is not right. Maybe the king or Rama or he is going to be in trouble. It's not right. It's not right. That's exactly what he feels. And then the messengers come over, and Ashwapati sends a lot of gifts. But then we don't know how long it takes for the messengers of Ayodhya to go from Ayodhya to Girivraja. But it takes Bharata 7 days to travel from Girivraja to Ayodhya. But it stands to reason that since he was loaded with a lot of gifts, it took him more time, whereas the messengers were very quick. And can you ask all the kids to just sit down, if possible. And then Bharata appears in Ayodhya. He sees that the whole place is very dismal and is very abysmal, and he does not understand what is going on. And then he goes to Kaikeyi's palace. He searches for his father over there. He's not able to find his father because the poor thing does not even know that Dashratha had passed on. And then finally he meets Kaikeyi, and Kaikeyi says, "You know what, Bharata? I kicked out Rama into the forest, and now the kingdom is all yours." But a small thing happened, and that is in the grief of separation, your father passed away. But it's absolutely okay. Everyone who is born has to die, so it's absolutely fine. But now the kingdom is all yours. And Bharata cannot believe the audacity of his mother, and he says, "You are not my mother. You are my worst enemy, disguised as my mother." Why? Because she wanted a life for him without Rama. This is why at the very onset I said, what is the meaning of Rama? Rama means a reservoir of all happiness. How can you even think of being happy without Lord Rama? That's exactly what Kaikeyi thought. And therefore Bharata says, no, I am not going to take this kingdom. So Bharata faces multiple tests. The first test was the temptation from Kaikeyi, and he passes it with flying colors. When he laments very loudly, Kaushalya knows that Bharata has returned, and she wants the world to know who Bharata is, so she taunts him, says, now the kingdom is all yours, why don't you also send me off to the forest? Then Bharata gives one huge lecture that he had nothing to do with Rama's departure to the forest, and if he had made the sins of all the world fall on him, and he gives a very huge list. I think there were about 78 or something the last time I counted, but I could be wrong. But he gives a very large list that this particular sin should fall on me, this particular sin should fall on me, in case he had anything to do with Rama's departure to the forest. And he says, if he had anything to do with it, Rama should not speak to me after he returns. And guess who the first person is that Rama speaks to as soon as he returns? Bharata. Bharata is the first person. And you have to read Valmiki Ramayana very carefully to understand the significance of these words. And then afterwards, Vashishta Muni comes over. Vashishta Muni says, you know what, let's assemble this national council. And then in the national council, he says, no, I'm not going to take over the kingdom. The funeral rites of Dasharatha are conducted. And on the 14th day, once again, the national council is convened. And once again, he says, no. On the 14th morning, Vashishta plays a trick. So this was the fourth test. Vashishta plays a trick, and he makes Bharata wake up to music. And Bharata says, no, I don't want music, because only the king is supposed to listen to music and wake up. And he even in that unconscious state, he knows that he is not the king. The kingdom belongs to Rama. So this is another test. And like this, afterwards, all of them go to Sringavepura. Who is the king of Sringavepura? Guha. Guha is the king of Sringavepura. Guha is a Nishada, and Guha is like, oh, why does Bharata come with this vast army? He could be thinking of conducting some harm to Rama. So he tests Bharata as well. And then Bharata is in full tears, and then Guha understands that it is okay. Then they cross Yamuna and they meet Bharadwaj Muni. Bharadwaj Muni tests him. Imagine Bharata had to face tests from Vashishta Muni, from his mother Kaushalya, from Bharadwaj Muni. Great sages. They were also questioning his motives. And Bharata is in tears. Kuru, if even you doubt me, what will my brother Rama think? That was his first thought. Then the Bharata says, yes, I know it. And then that night he conjures up this wonderful feast for the entire army. And because he wants to tempt Bharata once again, he creates this huge palace with a wonderful throne, and he says, okay, fine, it's for you. Bharata takes the position of the chief minister, and he sees Rama on the throne. So even under that temptation, even under guile and tests, Bharata always passes with flying colors. The last test is the doubts of Lakshmana. Lakshmana himself doubts that maybe Bharata is coming to harm Rama and Lakshmana and all that. Then he sees his brother and this very moving reunion, and he says, oh my dear brother, previously all the subjects used to throng around you, and now you're being surrounded by wild animals. Previously you used to wear the costliest of garments, and now you're wearing deerskin. Sandalwood paste would cover you at all times, and now you're covered with dust. Oh, woe is me that has brought you down to this level. And very beautiful, and it's a moving reunion. Bharata requests Rama to return over and over and over again. And there is one time when Rama says, no, Bharata, our father had given us this order that you should take care of the kingdom, I should stay in the forest. So now you and Shatrugna go and take care of the kingdom, Lakshmana and I are going to stay in the forest. And then Bharata pleads again. Then at that time he says that Dasharatha, at the time of marriage, he had promised Ashwapati that Kaikeyi's son is going to be the king. And over the course of time he had forgotten this promise. But Rama did not forget. It's very interesting that if a devotee promises something, the Lord will make sure that happens. Because that is the affection that the Lord has for his devotees. He does not want any devotee to be known as a liar. And therefore, this is the reason why this is the perfect thing. Then a Muni called Jabali gives some Mayavad philosophies, and then Rama just blasts him. And he says that you are not supposed to spout any of these non-Shastric philosophies. It's not correct. And then Vashishta Muni also says, oh Rama, you have to return. But then Rama says, no, I won't do that. Then it is mentioned that Bharata laid down on the grass of Kusha and he said that Rama, if you don't come, I'm going to fast. And then Rama takes Bharata on his lap and says, no, my dear Bharata. But the moment he sat on Rama's lap, Bharata's sorrow and grief and everything went away at that divine touch. And then Rama gives his sandals to Bharata. This comes in the 112th chapter of Ayodhya. How are the sandals of Rama? It's mentioned they are Hema Bhushite. They are adorned with gold. Technically, women, we are not supposed to wear golden piles or anything. It's not right. However, Rama wears golden shoes. Because why? Lakshmi is always massaging his feet, and he is allowed to wear. But just because Rama wears, it doesn't mean that we can wear. There is a difference between Lord Rama and us. So, Hema Bhushite, then Bharata says, my dear brother, you step on these sandals and you imbue them with your power and your blessings, and I will take these back with me to Ayodhya. The kind Lord, kind Lord, he steps on those two sandals, and then Bharata joyfully places them on his head. Why? Why didn't he just carry them over here? Why? He places them on his head. Because Rama is always head and shoulders above everybody else. We cannot treat Rama in the same way as we treat others. So Rama is always head and shoulders above everyone else, and therefore Bharata says that in slippers there is a space, right, between the ground and the feet. Bharata is putting himself below the ground, because that is a position that he wants to serve Rama. And then with great happiness they return. But then Bharata does not enter Ayodhya. For 14 years, Bharata lives as an ascetic on the outskirts of Ayodhya. Anyone knows the name of the place? Excellent. As it's a place called Nandigrama, he builds a small cottage, and he also, like Rama, discards all his royal robes, and he wears deerskin, matted hair and locks and everything. And he is emaciated, he's always thinking about Lord Rama. And in the 115th chapter, it is mentioned that he coronates the Padakas. How? With all the full canopy of white umbrellas and flowers and musical instruments and everything. He glorifies the Padakas. Then Valmiki says that Bharata did not conduct a single task for 14 years without consulting the Padakas. And anything he received, because he was now acting as the Prince Regent, okay, he was acting as the envoy of Lord Rama, and he promises the Lord that the moment he returns, he's going to give the kingdom back to him. But till then, he's just going to take care of the kingdom for Rama. It does not belong to him at all. And for 14 years, every single thing that he received from the subjects, he offered everything to the sandals. Every single thing. And then 14 years later, this is from Yuddhakand, when Rama returns, Bharata says that, oh my dear brother, Bharata offers the sandals to the Lord once again. And he says, oh my dear brother, because of the prowess of your sandals, the army, the treasury, the granary, and everything has grown how many times in the past 14 years? Anyone knows? 10 times. It has grown 10 times. Perfect. It has grown 10 times. How is it that just all slippers can give that particular power? It's because it's not ordinary, it's a very extraordinary paraphernalia of the Lord. So, what is the lesson? There are multiple lessons. Number one, Rama can bless anything. He can bless anything with the power because he's so affectionate to his devotees. Therefore, he can bless anything that will cause them, that will give them a reason to be closer to him. Okay? So the same thing is with our Archa Vigrahas as well. Archa Vigrahas, what are they made of? They are made up of either metal or maybe marble or stone or wood or something of that sort. It's all material. However, when we invite the Lord doing a Prana Pratishtha, when we invite the Lord to reside over there, the Lord, out of His infinite mercy, appears over there because He knows that it is going to bring His bhaktas closer to Him. This is the reason why Padakas are very important, because we understand the relationship that the Lord wants to have with His devotees. Very important point. Number two, it doesn't mean that just because something is made out of some matter, that the Lord is not able to understand what is happening over there. The Lord knows exactly what is happening. Because Bharata very clearly says that it is due to the power of these sandals that all of this glory has taken place. It's the power of the sandals. That means that Rama was completely aware of what was happening in the past 14 years when he was in exile. And number three, now that we have seen things from the perspective of the Lord, let us understand things from the perspective of the Bhakta. Bharata teaches us that nothing belongs to us. Every single thing belongs to the Lord. So what does he do? He receives a lot of things. Yes, he has to act to protect the kingdom. Absolutely. But then he does not do anything without the consultation of the Padakas. When Rama was about to return, when you yawn, you close your mouth and yawn. When the Lord was about to return, he sends Hanuman over and he says, Hanuman, you take a look at Bharata's face. If he is even remotely attached to the kingdom, just let me know. I will go back to the forest. Let Bharata have the kingdom. But for 14 years, Bharata did not have even the slightest tinge that, okay, fine, maybe this kingdom actually does belong to me, even though he is ruling it under the graces of the Lord, of course, but he does not have even a slightest tinge that it belongs to him. And how many times do we feel that something belongs to us completely and is absolutely wrong? We should always remember that we are not the proprietor of anything. Everything belongs to the Lord. And this is the most important lesson that we can learn from Bharata. The Ayodhya Vasis were also very happy under the protection of Rama's sandals. And it shows that we should be willing to be ruled by Rama. By that, it means that when Rama rules, he can offer punishments. He can give you clemency from your sins. He can absolve you from your sins. He can do whatever he wants. And you are willing to accept his judgment. It doesn't mean that just because for example, maybe everyone can understand that I have read Valmiki Ramayana multiple times. It doesn't mean that nothing horrible has ever happened in my life. It doesn't mean that. But when we read Valmiki Ramayana, it means that I can understand why the Lord does something, and it is always for our own benefit. And this is the reason why we should do the Padaka Pattabhishek. We should, number one, understand that we do not own anything, everything belongs to the Lord. And number two, we should be willing to be ruled by the Lord. So with this very happy note, let us all say the Mangalam. Mangalam Koshalendraya, Mahaniya Gunabde, Chakravarti, Dhanurjaya, Sarva Bhaumaya, Mangalam. When we chant the glories of the Lord, what Lord? The Lord of Koshala kingdom, Koshalendraya. there's auspiciousness everywhere. Mahaniya Gunade, he's the one with innumerable qualities. Chakravarti, he's the emperor. Dhanurjaya, the one with the bow. Sarva Bhaumaya Mangalam. When we listen to the story of Lord Rama, the entire world is benefited. So, on this very happy note, let us all start the Abhishekam of our beloved Sri Rama Padukas. The Padukas were given to me by a rishi in the Sri Sampradaya. His name is Ahobila Maharaj. He is a disciple of Chinnajiyar, and he had come to Seattle, and I got the Padukas, and he was the one who told us we should be willing to be ruled by Rama. So I'm coming directly from a bona fide Acharya. This is the message. So everyone, I think it's time for us to form lines. Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimati Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine. Saraswati Devi Gauravani Prajani Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Pashatya Jishakari. are going to sing the Nama Ramayana, and Sarvatita Gauradas Prabhu is going to send it, give everyone a
They
copy,
can pass it down. Sir.
which you can take home if that's what you like.
Take one and pass it.
Take one and pass it on. So Nama Ramayana is the complete Ramayana from Balakand till Uttarakhand, and in 108 verses we will glorify the Lord, and this is very famously sung by M.S. Subbalakshmi. So Sharanmaki Mataji and I are going to be singing this one, and everyone can follow along with us. I have to mention that in the end of Aranyakand and in Yuddhakand, there is a small modification from how he has written it. The one that you have in your copies is the right order according to Valmiki Ramayana. And once we are finished singing this one, I can point out exactly where there is a mistake in the order. Mataji, Sharanmaki Mataji, the microphone.
Thank you, Mataji. So now we are going to sing the Nama Ramayana.
Om Shri Sita Lakshmana Bharata Shatrugna Hanumat Sameta Shri Ramachandra Parabrahmane Namaha.
At the end of every Khand, we are going to sing Rama Rama Jaya Raja Ram. That time you all can repeat. In that time we will sing.
Thank you. विरचित निज पितृकर्म करा भरतातीत निज पादुकरा राम राम जय राजा राम 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 जय श्री राम Krishna Krishna Hare 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 Ram 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 Hare Hare।
आज रामनवमी है और सभी भक्तों को बहुत बहुत मुबारक हो जिसकी, और बहुत खुशी हुआ है जी। मैं इंटरनेट से देखा, मुझे ज़्यादा पता नहीं था, तो मैंने कहा भगवान जी का आज जन्मदिन है, तो जो भी भक्त बैठे चल चलते उनके साथ थोड़ा हाथ हो जाएंगे। तो बहुत बहुत आपको मुबारक हो। और मुझे अभी बताया कि शायद मंदिर बन रहा है रिचमंड रोड पे, तो वो मेरा एरिया में है, तो आपको कोई भी हेल्प चाहिए हो तो जस्ट लेट मी नो। आप जितनी संगत है इस घर में तो संभाल ही पाए, यूनिक हॉल, तो विल बी हियर टू हेल्प यू। तो आपकी किसी तरह की जो भी हेल्प चाहिए, तो सभी का एक ही आस्था भी बैठे बात कर रहे थे कि भगवान तो एक ही है, नाम अलग अलग से हम याद करते हैं। तो इष्ट जो भी किसी का भी है, दे विल हैव शुड हैव द फ्रीडम टू एंजॉय। हम सभी को मिल सकते हैं करना चाहिए। तो बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद एक बार से जी, बहुत मजा आया सभी के साथ मिलकर। और जो भी मेरे लायक कोई सेवा, कोई जरूरी नहीं है कि कम्युनिटी का है, कोई पर्सनल भी हो किसी का। आजकल बहुत ग्रैनी फ्लैट बना रहे, पगे पड़ रहे हैं, तो कोई किसी को कोई हो बनाने से पहले आना, बाद में नहीं। ठीक है ना जी। तो मेरे पास बहुत आते हैं कि जी मैं बना लिया तो अब कौशल वाला पास नहीं कर रहा, तो भाई पहले बना हम तो पक्का डाल लिया, तो मैं करूँगी। तो कोई भी हेल्प चाहिए तो वोट करता हूँ। थैंक यू।
हरे कृष्णा।
सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वृन्दाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णुभक्ति प्रदिदेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। वृन्दाय तुलसी देव्याय प्रियाय केशवस्य च विष्णुभक्ति प्रदिदेवी सत्यवताय नमो नमः। नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो नमः नमो नमः तुलसी कृष्ण प्रेयसी नमो Hare